If losing weight was easy, 2/3 of people wouldn't be walking around today overweight or obese. So right up front, let's face facts. There is no magic bullet, no wonder drug, and no fad diet that will melt away the pounds or effortlessly trim body fat. As the prevalence of obesity continues to rise in many countries and an increasing number of people attempt to lose weight, there is an increasing urgency for the identification of strategies to achieve successful long-term maintenance of weight loss. Obesity arises through an imbalance between energy intake and energy expenditure. The reduced need for physical activity in the modern westernized lifestyle is clearly able to contribute to this imbalance by reducing energy expenditure. But a major contribution to the increasing problem of obesity is inappropriate food intake. That is, an energy intake that exceeds energy requirements. Today on set, we are joined by one of the country's best nutritionists who is going to give us a good tip, or rather good tips that are going to help you out on how to lose your weight. So karibu sana, madam.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana. We're going to introduce her later. Of course, she's going to tell us who she is. A very warm welcome to Uliza Chochote, a program that seeks to inform you on matters pertaining health and anything else that you would want to ask. So feel comfortable to send in your SMSs to 21144 and get to ask any questions. Karibu sana.
Yes, like you've said, my name is Kate Kibara. I'm a clinical nutritionist and a colon hydrotherapist, and basically what I deal with is lifestyle changes in terms of maintaining a healthy lifestyle when it comes to nutrition, wellness, all those, anything to do with your eating habits, to do with the food that you eat, to do with your lifestyle, to do with exercise, how just to harmonize that into yourself to maintain a healthy system. Yes.
Okay, of course, lifestyle, it's very, very important. Diet goes hand in hand with weight loss, and that's the reason why we have Kate Kibara today here. So she's going to tell us more about how you can lose weight in the most nutritional way ever. So Kate, many of the times when you struggle so much in life, you know, we always want to lose weight, we always want to look figure 8, if I may call it, and you just have it so rough, you know. You go to the Google, you go to Google, sorry, you go to all sorts of people to so that they could help you, you know, trying all ways, trying all kinds of medicine, you know, vitamins and everything, just trying to lose weight. But then it's just not working for us. What could be the problem? What could be this big mistake that we always do?
I think it's something that is still, people are still trying to work on. And if we had the information, if we had the knowledge, those mistakes could not be there. Because it's so easy to get a weight loss plan, it's so easy to get pills, it's so easy to get all those things that will make you shift that extra weight. But why is it that it doesn't happen like you've asked? First and foremost, it is important to understand, what does it mean for me? If I'm fat, what does that tell me? And it's as simple as having an imbalance between your caloric intake, what you eat and what you burn. If you have that imbalance, then you store more than you're burning. And when you store more, anything stored in the system is fat, and that makes you big. And within no time, if you don't shift that, if you don't burn more than you're eating, you find that you accumulate this fat, and by the time you realize it's too late. So now you get into any a quick method of losing this weight. But why is it that it's difficult? You find that 80-90% of weight gain is because of lifestyle and diet, especially what you put on your plate. And then there are other factors that could predispose you, and these factors also need to be addressed when you're working on a weight loss program. Things like genetics. You could come from a family where your dad is big or your mom is big, so you have a higher percentage of adding weight. But that doesn't mean that you'll be big, that you're predisposed.
So you can still handle that even if it's genetical.
It's just a tendency. So if you lead a healthy lifestyle, if you're able to burn all those calories, what you're putting in, you're able to burn it, then you're able to maintain a healthy, a small body. It just means that it is easier for you to add weight. I don't know if I've met people who say, I eat fries, I eat all those things, and I don't add weight.
I don't add weight or get big.
Yes, because that's your body type. You're an ectomorph. So if you're like that, it will take it. You won't add weight physically, but there's damage that you could be creating inside
because of eating. Also.
Yes, because of eating unhealthy. So we have other factors, like if you have a thyroid problem, and you find that a lot of people who could be having problems with their hormones, you could be having problems with burning glucose into energy, so it's always stored as fat. And of course, here you have to work with your physician. You're given medication to help with that. There are other factors that could be some types of medication. You're on something, you're on steroids, so you're eating that, and you'll find that by taking steroids because of a condition that you have, you'll definitely add weight. So you need to watch such things. And then you find things like, and the main one is a sedentary lifestyle. Kate eats every day, but she doesn't burn.
Right, yeah.
And in the world today, that has become like number one. We are so sedentary, we don't like walking. I remember my dad many years ago saying that he used to walk to school, you know, things that if somebody is told to walk today, it's like,
no.
how can you walk from this point to this point? You know, we become so, can I say even technology, we are so modern. There are lifts, we have cars. Our kids these days, they're on PlayStations and all that, you know, instead of being
outside, you know, joking
yes,
around.
active. So you find a sedentary lifestyle has contributed so much because now your body burns less than you're eating. And then, of course, there's the diet, poor diets and healthy eating habits, which is also number one. This is because we are eating a lot of high caloric foods. We're eating a lot of foods that are high in sugars, foods that at the end of the day make you add weight. And if you don't burn them, it means that it will be very difficult for you to shift that weight, for you to maintain a healthy one. And you find obesity today is on the increase, and it's a major risk because most of the conditions are associated with obesity. That's why so many people are trying. That's why the world today is trying to lose this extra weight, because you don't want to risk yourself in attracting these degenerative diseases.
Well, you said it so well, like we try all ways and means, and there are different ways that we're normally told, you know, different things are presented to us that if you do this, you're going to lose weight. What is it in a nutshell? I would want you to tell us, what is this different thing that you're coming along with that will help us lose weight?
I think in a nutshell, I'll just talk about the three main mistakes that we make. We make mistakes in our lifestyles when it comes to losing weight or maintaining a healthy body. We make mistakes in our diets, and we make mistakes in exercise, you know, whether we're going to get into an exercising regimen or not. When you look at let me start with the exercise bit, you find that people, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to exercise. And this becomes difficult because there's no way you lose weight by only eating less and not exercising. You need muscles to burn fat. You don't burn fat by eating foods. Foods will raise your metabolism, but your muscles are the ones that burn. But you find many people either it becomes monotonous, or you get bored, or you don't want to exercise, or you're too lazy for that. So we don't do that part, and that's a major mistake we do. And you find, even if you get into the exercise program, we have a program, many want to do one type of exercise. You only want to do aerobics, you don't want to do
You're talking about
weightlifting.
the exercises and the program that we get engaged to.
Yes.
Different people have different conditions, and probably some exercises would not be very good for them as per, let me pinpoint like children.
Yeah.
You don't expect what I'm doing the same thing is the same exercise that probably a child will do. What do you do in such cases?
Absolutely. And it's not even a child alone. Different development stages will require different types of exercises. The amount of calories you need to burn through exercise will be different from mine. So once you start that exercise program, you need to address all that. But basically what happens, you find that there are those who just want to do aerobic exercises where you're using oxygen to burn fat, and then you don't do the toning bit. You find you don't want to lift weight. So you do exercises, but not the appropriate ones. So you find that there are mistakes that could be there. And then when you look at your diet, and this is number one, you find, and this is very common, when it comes to weight loss, and most of my clients or people I've met, the first thing you think you need to drop is nyama.
Of course, that was my next question, like what kinds of food should we take?
You're looking at the portions and the quality of what you're eating.
So it's not the kind of food that you take, portions and quality.
Yes, portions and quality. Of course, you have to eat all the food groups. And a diet mistake that we find or we make all the time, I want to lose weight, and it has to be at that time. So I'm working out a program where I'm going to lose 10 kilos within a week. Of course, that's not realistic because you did not gain that weight within that short period of time. So you find you end up getting into like a starvation mode, whereby you skip breakfast, you won't eat lunch, and then you only eat a small lunch or you eat dinner. So that's not good. What you're going to work on, like I said, it is what you take in that is more than you burn. So you watch what quality of foods are you eating. According to the World Health Organization, we are told that we require about 40 to about 80 grams of meat in a day. So if you take
dear.
an average, it's very little portion, just very little that you need on your plate. In fact, a best way of looking at that is just measuring using the palm of your hand. That's the
like
amount of meat you need to put on your plate. And then when it comes to carbohydrates, they're the ones that give you energy. You actually need energy during this time that when you're trying to lose weight. If you don't have energy and you're at the gym, you won't be able to exercise and you'll give up easily. So the quality of your carbs is so important. You need to take carbs that have a low glycemic index. That means they are released slowly into glucose into the system. So there is no time you'll have a lot of glucose in the system that will be converted quickly into fat. So you find whole meals are the best. You find things like for breakfast, you can do your oats. You can do things like Weetabix because it's high fiber. You need that. Instead, versus doing white bread and the bread you'll have put all these things on top. So that's what you watch on your carbohydrates. You look at vegetables and fruits. Most of the time, those are things we take less of. And we need to understand that they're high in nutrients that the body requires for it to stay healthy. They're also high in fiber and they're more filling. They're nutrient-dense and more filling. So if you take a lot of that, fiber helps with the elimination, it helps with digestion. And these foods are low in calories, so you can eat as much as you need for that. So basically, your plate should have, your carbohydrates should be there, your proteins should be there, and the vegetables must be there, apart from the nutritional aspect of them. And then there are things like water. We ignore water thinking that is not important. Weight loss also requires for you to take water. So when you look at that angle, and not only that, quality and portions, you also need to check how are you cooking this food. I could be eating my whole meal food, but I've deep fried it. I could have made a salad, but I've dressed it with a lot of, with a dressing that contains this fat that I'm trying to burn. So it's a matter of watching what you're eating and the amount of calories that that food has in terms of the cooking. If you're deep frying it, the cooking method, if you're going to add more fat to it, if it has a lot of grease, if it's foods that are high in cholesterol on their own, things like eggs are high in cholesterol, things like anything deep fried is high in fat. So those are the things you look at when you address that. Yes, so that's an all-round aspect. You're not watching on one bit. And the mistake that we make here in the diet, just to like summarize it, we either skip a food group. You decide you're not going to touch meat at all, or you're not going to touch carbohydrates at all, or you decide to skip. So you won't eat 3 portions. You'll eat very little in a day. And the mistake that that makes in your system, every time your body is on starvation mode, it tells you Kate is not going to eat again. So it has to lower the rate at which it's burning glucose for energy, because my body doesn't know when it's going to get more food. So when you lower that, you lower your metabolism and you lower the rate at which you burn. So when you get off this diet, by the time you're off it, you find that your metabolism is already low. So you start adding more. So we make that mistake of not changing our lifestyles in terms of our eating habits. We're just working on an event. And then the last one is our lifestyles. We find that we want instant results. And I've seen this, and I don't blame myself. I want to lose my weight overnight. I want to do things that are not realistic. I fail to plan for that program that I need to work on when it comes to shifting these extra kilos. I'm always on the scale, checking I've not lost a kilo, there's something wrong. And when you put all this together, you find that you become so frustrated, you become so disappointed that you give up, or you say it's not working for me. It's only because of making those small mistakes that you may not see them at the beginning, but they will create harm at the end.
Later on in life. Wow, quite informative there. You will agree with me. So feel comfortable to send in your SMSs to 21144. Kate and I have prepared a video for you. Well, I must admit that I love what I'm seeing right here. I mean, Kate is not just a nutritionist by name, but clearly she is by deeds. I mean, Kate, you prepared lots and lots of stuff for us to eat. I mean, everything looks munchy, edible and everything. I'm just loving this. And by the way, we are talking about weight loss. Yes. And I'm looking at foodstuffs. And as in the normal myth that we have, there's this myth that when you see food and everything, you just associate that with big bodies and everything. But I can see you have lots and lots of stuff, foods that we'd look at and you're thinking, now that is a no-go zone and everything. So tell us something, Kate, about all this that you prepared for us today.
Yes, thank you. You know, when it comes to a healthy system, even weight loss, you must eat everything. But what you choose is the quality of what you eat and the quantity of the food that you
Actually,
eat.
that's the
Portions. Yes,
quality
that's
and quantity. It's
yes.
not all about what you eat.
Yes, and then you can see that there's a variety of foods here.
Oh, yeah.
We have fruits, we have vegetables, we have protein, we have carbohydrates, we have everything. We even have beverages that you need when you're trying to lose weight or when you're trying to change your menu into a healthier one, into a more healthy one. You need different colors because each color represents a nutrient. Like you can see the orange color, yellow color, that's high in vitamin C, and it's also beta carotene if it's something like in a carrot. So any food group that has this color is giving you carotenes, and you need carotenoids for so many functions in the system. And then you have green. Green may be from vegetables. You have the green leafy vegetables, especially our traditional vegetables, terere, amaranth, managus, even spinach. Very good for magnesium, for calcium, for iron especially, and iron is very important. So each color will give you a nutrient. We have the purple. Anything that is purple, fruits that are purple, are high in flavonoids. It's important to have different colors because you're addressing different, you want your body to get enough vitamins, minerals for you to stay healthy. So each color, you need to play around with colors, and cooking is an art. And as you can see our table here, we're trying to lose weight. And you can see we have majority of healthy foods, and there's some specific ones that I've put here that need to be taken in moderation. Basically, what you need to look at once you're changing this menu is it has to be balanced. You cannot do away with one type of food. And balancing means that you have your carbohydrates, you have your proteins, you have your vitamins from your vegetables and fruits. And then there's one thing that we forget most of the time, that we need oils. So you have to have the healthy oils, yes. You also need nuts. That's something that we forget. A handful of nuts every day. You must include that in your diet because of the minerals, that especially zinc. There are things like some minerals that may not be present in the vegetables and fruits, and they'll also give you fiber.
I can see cheese and butter.
Yes, because those ones you need to take in moderation. Just like you see, we have a variety of foods, but there are those that you need to watch, there are those you need to avoid, and there are those that you need to include more of. And basically what I'm going to do is to describe them according to their food groups. And I'll start with the main food that you require in huge or bigger quantities, and those are your carbohydrates. You also have your vegetables and fruits the same, but the quality is what is important. So if it is breakfast and you're changing into this weight loss program, you need to look for healthy starches to start with. So in the morning, most of the time we find that we may do a lot of white bread, we may do a lot of refined flours, and those ones will make you add weight. And then so you can look for wholemeal bread, you can look for things like Weetabix, which is high in fiber. You need this, but the portions is important. You're not going to eat like 3 boxes or 5 boxes of Weetabix or 5 slices of this, because you're still going to add weight. It's still a carbohydrate, but it's a more healthy option than if you are to do white bread or if you are to do other things. And then you have, in the morning, we like taking a lot of eggs. You know, we'll do eggs, you'll do bacon, you'll do sausages. Now, those are the ones like egg, bacon, sausages, cured meats are the ones to avoid because they'll make you fat within no time. And if you have to spoil yourself, maybe once a week, but you can look for healthier options. You could do eggs, and for eggs, a boiled egg, and you need 2 eggs in a week. Just that, and that's the maximum that you will need. So because you've reduced, if you are doing the sausages and the bacons, now you need to replace that protein, because if you don't have it, you will find yourself craving for the same. So a good replacement of that is mushrooms. You could just to replace your protein because you actually need it. You could do beans in the morning. You could do things like peas because they're also high, but quality portions are the ones that you work with.
The most important thing. I can see we have sugar. We also have honey somewhere, right?
Yes.
Mostly we're told that honey is a good replacement for sugar.
Absolutely. Sugar is pure calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, a teaspoon of this or 2 or 3 for your breakfast, and maybe you took a beverage during the day that had the same, you find that you're replacing what you're burning. So do away with that. You can work out to have pure honey, a little bit also because it's still sugar as much as it's nutritious. So for your beverages in the morning and throughout your day, you have to drink water, and water is something that we forget. Water is life, and water helps with the weight loss.
Like how many glasses?
About 6 to 8 glasses a day. And water helps with weight loss. If you don't drink water, your body retains When you drink water, it flushes out. So you distribute your water from the morning. When you wake up, at least 2 glasses of warm water before your breakfast. And then after your breakfast, you distribute the water throughout. During the day, you can play around with your water. Most people say, well, I don't have time. You can play around by introducing drinks that help with fat metabolism. And one of the best drinks that help with that is green tea. Green tea has been known for years. And that's why you find there's this story that Asians in Asia, they don't suffer from heart disease and all this because they drink a lot of green tea. It's the tea with the highest antioxidants, and it helps in raising your metabolism so you burn fat. So you could add that to your water during the day as you drink. And then after that, there are beverages you may do throughout the day that you may not know will make you fat, like hidden sugars in this. You know, you see, like this is a ready to drink drink. So it's very high in sugar. So you may think it's just nothing because it's just a liquid, but it will make you add weight. So instead of that, you choose the healthy beverages. We like milk. Milk is good, but also take it in moderation if you're trying to lose weight, because it's also an animal protein, and it actually adds on to what you're burning. The other substitute for this is yogurt, and yogurt is very good. It's good for digestion. Contains the healthy flora, lactobacillus, that helps with digestion. It also helps you get into your iron, your other vitamins. So you can substitute, but also in moderation. Portions are important. So if that's
specific foods here that would help with digestions, like you mentioned.
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to lunchtime, so you want to have your meal, this is now where your meats come from. Every day you need to have a portion of meat, of animal protein, and then in between the week you can skip 2 or 3 days. So but one piece, if you take an animal protein in the morning, don't take at lunchtime, you can mix vegetable source of protein. The best, we are told, is fish or chicken, white meat. Reason being that they are high in omega-3. Fish is high in omega-3, which is heart-friendly fats. They also help your body in raising the good HDL cholesterol. That's what you need. It's also soft, so it gets digested quickly. But if you're going to do beef, lean cuts of meat, and then the portion is what is important. Very little, like in your plate, 3 to 4 medium-sized chunks of yes.
Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, you're watching Uliza Chochote with me, your host Linda Alela, and today we are tackling weight loss, and of course in the most appropriate way ever. And of course we have a nutritionist on set, like earlier on. She explained so much about the foods that we are supposed to take so that we ensure that we lose weight in the best way ever.
You can only address your health from the inside, at the cellular level. If you give that cell what it needs, you stay healthy. If you deny it what it requires, you lose weight, you lose your health. And basically, when you look at weight loss and your internal being, you need to work according to how your body works from the inside. Let's look at things like the way the different system work, especially when it comes to burning fat. You won't force your body to burn fat by not providing the calories that it needs for it to do that. The more you eat, the more your body will burn. And that's why we advise to take like 5-6 frequent meals in a day. Secondly, you need to eliminate, and that's why your colon is very important. If you're not eating foods that are high in fiber, if you're not taking enough roughage, then that will give you a problem when it comes to your weight loss, because your body is not you're loading it, you're clogging the system, whereas you still want to lose that weight. And also there are other factors that the whole system works in harmony if you provide it with the ingredients that it needs, and that's how your body is. They were created, health and wellness is our natural state, so it makes it so easy for your system to take up what you provide. And remember, if you shock your body every day by doing the wrong things, by making it change the way it should operate, then it becomes very difficult for you to either gain health or lose that weight. And that's a mistake that we make all the time. And when you address your health from the inside, even when it comes to weight loss, you're asking yourself, what does my body need for it to be okay? What does it need? It needs exercise, it needs water, it needs the right diet, it needs the right lifestyle. When you address all that, you're addressing that health from the inside. You'll never address health from the outside. You'll never address weight loss from the outside like it happens. I have struggled with weight, but thank God now I'm fine. It took me almost 1 year to shift a lot of kilos, from 90 to about 58. And you find that's how your body operates. You cannot just shift weight overnight, 10, 20 kilos, because your body is not used to that. You need to give your body time to adjust, your body time to change to this new system. And what you want is permanent, lasting change.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose weight today and for it to come back tomorrow. So work with how your body works, and our lifestyle, the tips that I've given, that's how your body works.
So briefly or approximately, what is the best weight that you can tell? Okay, the time frame that you can tell for someone attaining that goal weight that they want.
Excellent, excellent. For men, you know, men have more muscles.
Yeah.
You're required to lose like a kilo a week. So in a month, it's safe for you to lose 4 kilos. For a woman, it is safe to lose half a kilo a week. So in a month, you can lose 2 or 3 kilos. That's what the body can take. Anything more than that, drastic weight loss will not work. It will always come back. You may see the results at that time, but with time, the weight comes back. And that's why you find people complaining, oh, I was small, but it has come back. So with that, you find that every time you lose, you're always adding, because you add and then you try again, you lose and then you add. So your body is now confused because it has this yo-yo effect. You're eating, you're losing, you're eating, you're losing. It is maintaining slowly. And once you lose weight the healthy way, it is a permanent way of weight loss, and it won't give you problems with time. Now, the BMI, it's just your weight against your height, and then you know if you have 18 to 25, your weight is okay. You find if you get into any drastic weight loss, anything that will make you lose weight within a short period of time, many times, it's not the fat that you've burnt. You find that you're losing your metabolic water. So you lose the water that you have, and sometimes you may lose muscles if you're not eating protein in that diet. The diet did not have any protein, and you find that's what you lose. So once you're off the diet and you had lost that, and you start eating, you find that you just add back your water, you add back, the muscles may grow, and you find that your weight is back. So a good way of checking is, if you're able to measure your fat content, it would be good, because that will tell you you're burning fat. If you're losing inches, then that will tell you, and this you can check through measurements, through the clothes you wear. Doesn't necessarily have to be the weighing scale, through the clothes you wear, and you find, okay, I used to wear a size 10, now it's a size 8. That tells you that you're losing inches, so you're burning fat. And you can actually tell this by looking at a person, by looking at yourself. When you lose weight in terms of the muscles and water, and what you're trying to lose is fat, you find that you may not look as healthy as you're losing this weight. Your face may become, you may look you may look unhealthy by just being looked at, and you want to look okay as you're losing weight, because your body should evenly lose that fat. It is not only one part that you're doing, and once you do that, once you get your BMI, it's not only the BMI that will tell you okay. It's always important to visit your physician so that other parameters are checked, just to check that your fat levels are okay, your cholesterol is fine. But if you lose weight the right way, through permanent changes in your lifestyle, in your diet, you find that there's no risk of you thinking, oh, now I'm scared that it is water that I've lost. No, because it is the lifestyle that you changed. You burned fat, you exercised, you did everything right. And one thing that we should know is that the body asks you for what you give it. If you start eating healthy within no time, you find that it takes that so easily. Yes. As much as I'm saying it's an easy process, weight loss is difficult. When I was trying to lose my weight, it was hard.
Indeed it is.
But there's nothing easy, no pain, no gain. Maybe I should say that. So when it comes to our carbohydrates, the only mistake that we do is that we take the same type of carbohydrate over and over. If you're going to do lunch ugali, dinner rice, lunch ugali like that, you need more, or a Saturday and Sunday chapati. There's a danger of white flours that are refined, because this act as pure sugar when they get into the system, and you're trying to do that in moderation. So if you cannot get brown rice that is high in fiber, you can do this, but reduce the portion and don't take frequently. And that's now when we come to our starches, which are also a form of carbohydrate that are also healthy. So you can decide if Monday you're doing white rice, Tuesday you'll do your butternut, it's to give you fiber, to give you the energy you need. The other day you can do sweet potatoes, the other day you can do matoke. See, now you have variety, not the same white flour that you're eating all the time. You can do potatoes, but remember, these are still starches. If you take in excess, you won't be able to lose as...
So basically everything is poisonous if taken in excess.
Yes, and for you who is trying to lose weight, you need to reduce the portions, but you're eating, you're not staying hungry, or you're not putting yourself in starvation mode. When you get hungry, you snack on something healthy. You can do grapes. If you're hungry throughout and there's nothing to eat, you can do some fruits. Fruits really work excellent on that. We can do a salad, both for fruits and for vegetables. 3 to 4 servings of fruits, 3 to 5 servings of vegetables. So every day, whichever time, it could be at lunchtime, it could be in the evening, make sure you have a salad. You can combine like lettuce with some onions. You can do grated carrots. You know, you can do a bit of coriander. You can do peppers and different peppers, different colors. They're very healthy, and you're adding that. You can do your tomatoes, and then the dressing will also be important because you don't want to add calories to the otherwise healthy salad. So you can dress with lemon, you can dress with honey. And then one most important thing, apart from the salads and the vegetables that I'm talking about, is the cooking of the food. If you deep fry it, if you deep fry it, then you're adding fat to the food. If you use the wrong cooking oil, then you're adding the fat that you're trying to burn. So the best fat has always been olive oil. Yes, olive oil is the best, high in omega-3, excellent for the heart. It makes you promote the good cholesterol. So you dress your food and you work with it alongside everything that you're eating. And then fruits and vegetables, it's very important to know that even if you're going to do fruits, look for fruits that are low in sugars and high in, low in sugars and non-acidic, because again, there are still sugars that you're trying to burn. So you can work out a menu like watermelon is very good, low in sugar, high in water. You can do bananas. You can do like the sweet bananas in moderation. You can't take like bananas every lunchtime and evening. You have to do in moderation because of the amount of calories.
So with the fruits you can play around. It's better you get like ready-made juice, not ready-made juice, but you can blend juice.
Yes, you can blend juice. You can play with that. And then finally, there are sometimes you find that we want to like butter your bread. You want to cook with some butter. Butter is like 100% cholesterol, so watch out when you're trying to lose weight.
Take as little as you can.
Yes, even again, if you want to cook, you want to put everything, you want to add cheese to all your cooking, watch out that. Sometimes you find that we like eggs, so you want to take a lot of eggs. Those are the small things that you need to watch out. You'll be safe if you're taking a lot of vegetables, the white meat in moderation, lean cuts of meat. You're doing a lot of grains to alternate, because you need protein. Yes, these beans, dengu, black beans. So you are playing around with those to ensure that you're getting all the nutrients, but you're eating well. And then now we have one more thing. We have the spices. Spices are very good. Like when you're cooking, adding
spicy food.
Yes, but basic things like ginger or garlic. Yes, when you're cooking foods that are high in fat, like naturally high in, like chicken, if you added a bit of garlic, it actually helps in working that out. And then for chicken, you remove the skin. So basic elements like those are the ones that you reintroduce into your lifestyle, and see there's so much that can be taken, but there are those that you avoid. You notice we don't have a lot of junk food here.
We actually don't have refined food.
Yes, we want you to reduce on the snacking. You'd find that things like burgers, pizzas are high in cholesterol and high in calories. So you may have burnt that the whole day, and a slice of something will replace it instantly. So those are the things you avoid completely. But if you feel you must, you can take a slice, but you need to be strong when it comes to changing your eating habits in terms of weight loss, because it's very easy to slip back. And then again, healthy foods, sometimes people say they don't have taste, so you need to cook them nicely, add natural spices. In fact, limit on those spices, the ones that are not natural. You need to take like garlic, ginger, coriander. You work around those spices to make the food tasty, because again, you want to enjoy it as much as you're losing weight. And I think that's it. When it comes to deworming, it is important to do at least, you need to get the deworming tablets 3 times a year, 3 or 4 times, but they're natural dewormers like watermelon seeds, You find that when you take watermelon, you just keep the seeds away. Not only do they help with deworming, they'll also give you fiber that will help with digestion. So if you took that will also help.
So the seeds, you're supposed to kind of chew them or just swallow them?
If you're making juice, you can like blend together, or you can. When I'm doing my watermelon, I take plus the seeds. So it's important also to deworm, because with worms you find that because they're scavengers, you get hungry all the time, and it is important also to have a healthy system when it comes to keeping healthy and weight loss. And the thing is, if you work out a strict, healthy diet where you're eating everything, and of course don't forget you have to go there and exercise, reduce your stress levels. You'll be able to get somewhere and you'll see results.
Well, I'm sure you've grasped a lot out of Kate's kitchen, and trust me, you are on that journey of losing your weight, and indeed it's going to work. Like she said earlier on, it is very, very possible, right, Kate?
Yes, it is.
So there you go.
Before we get to wind up the show,
Yeah.
let's talk about the children a bit.
Yeah.
You know, there are these children who are big, and of course it frustrates the parent, it frustrates the mother, and for a child, they cannot be able to handle things on their own. How about them?
Yes, and today that's a risk, that's a major concern today with in the society, in the world. We find that our children are becoming obese, and the tendency or chances of having diabetes in kids, adolescents, and even having hypertension is on the increase. I may partly blame the parents or the lifestyle or lack of knowledge. If you're giving your kids a lot of calories, and I'm not saying kids should not, if you're giving them a lot of that and your child sits down the whole day, really, that won't make this child burn. Make them more active. Let the child go for swimming, you know, some sport. They can swim, cycle, the bicycle, play with them. Make sure that this child is active throughout, because they burn so quickly, their metabolisms are high. So they'll burn quickly what they eat. And of course, then there's no bad food. What we have is poor eating habits. So the children can junk. You know, you can also eat any other food, but watch on the type of the food that they're eating. If it is spoiling themselves, then you've worked with them and you've told them we can spoil ourselves these other days, but you have to eat these healthy foods. Let your child not dictate what they want to eat. Even if they have to eat, you know, the deep fried foods, a lot of junk food, please can you work with them? Make them eat healthy meals first, and then they can snack later.
As we wind up the show, Kate, as you give us your parting shots, please mention something to do with slimming pills. As you give us parting shots, because they work out good sometimes for us. Yeah.
But you know, any type of pill that you're going to pop to make you lose weight, it is going to. There's something that is distracting in your system for you to do that. It could be a fat inhibitor. So this means that any fat that you take in the food won't be absorbed in the system, and that's wrong, because some vitamins, A, D, E, and K, fat-soluble vitamins, require fat for them to be absorbed in the system. Yeah. So you find you may be creating harm that you're not seeing at the moment, and that the effects come with time. I've met many people who say, oh, I used to pop pills, I lost my weight, but these are the side effects. The side effects is what you need to look at. And anything that you pop, whether it's a supplement, whether it's a slimming pill, you have to work with your doctor. They have to know that it's safe for you, and if it has side effects, they're going to address those side effects as they come. The thing is, that's a shortcut. Why not change your lifestyle? Will you pop pills for the rest of your life? What happens after the pills? Yes, so it's important. It's easier for me, I would say it's easier for you to change your lifestyle, eat healthy. What I always like to say is that plan your health life, plan your eating habits, plan your lifestyle like you're making changes for the rest of your life. Whether it's weight loss, whether it's weight gain, whether you're managing a condition, whether you want to get expectant, don't do for that for an event. Change your life for the longest, you know, and it won't be a problem, because that's who you are, that's how your body is. And one last thing, even if you get into a healthy eating pattern and you find that you're not shifting that weight, don't get disappointed. You know, we always fall, but you get up. It could be that, oh, now your body is used to the new diet, so change into something else, but don't give up. It's difficult, don't give up.
Oh yeah, it is difficult, but don't give up. Don't even ever think of giving up, because it is, again, possible. You've been watching Uliza Chochote with me, your host, Linda Alela, and of course with Kate Kibara. It was quite a pleasure having her on set. So until next time, have a pleasant time.